Sage Wanderer here, coming at you from my shotgun shack in the Texas Outback. So we're talking about Civil War again today. Now, recently I talked about how Representative Tlaib was actually caught discussing openly what law enforcement agency they should use to round up all of Trump's cabinet members and basically drag them to appear before Congress, whether they like it or not. Don't. But we got a new contender who's talking about arresting members of the Trump cabinet. So we've got, what's this guy's name? John Garamendi from California. He's a Democrat. And he taught me a lesson. You know, John Garamendi taught me something I didn't know about the Capitol. You know, I've not been to Washington, D.C., although things keep going like they're going. Many of us might show up there. But on the other hand, having never been there, I didn't know that the Capitol building actually has its own little jail. Apparently, there's a jail just for this kind of thing in the Capitol building at Washington, D.C., and Garamendi is proposing that these people be gathered up by the Sergeant of Arms of the House of Representatives and thrown into this little jail and cool their heels until they're willing to do what the Congress tells them to do. So, tyrannical much? That's not tyrannical, is it? Okay, so, didn't know that. Didn't know they had a little jail there. Although, if I were Trump, I would probably make sure that there was a contingency plan for such a thing. I mean, you can't have these little snot-nosed, first-run Democrat congressmen locking up the people that actually run the country, now can you? And they can't go around, you know, the Sergeant of Arms, that's his job now? The Sergeant of Arms at the House, at the Congress? Really? I thought it was just ceremonial. I didn't even think they had bullets in their little guns they carried. Or I thought it was just flags. Don't they just carry flags? I don't know. But I think that cabinet members have Secret Service protection. You tell me. Don't cabinet members have Secret Service protection? And will the Secret Service just let the Sergeant of Arms come up and slap the cuffs on, I don't know, say Pompeo, and drag him off to the little jail at the Capitol building to cool his jets and consider his crimes while the rest of the world needs governing? You know, he kind of has a job to do. You know, Secretary of State, it's a pretty big gig, you know what I'm saying? Has he got time to cool his heels in your little Capitol Hill jail? See, this is how civil wars start. I've been talking about this ever since the first arrest of Manafort, that this is what we could expect. And sooner or later, what will happen is, whether it's a U.S. Marshal who's got, you know, being his bonnet about this and decides to try to arrest someone like Pompeo, and then the Secret Service says, I don't think so, not today, sir. You know, whether it's something like that, or whether it's something where more like a person who has their own ability to defend themselves says, I don't think I'm going to go with your little kangaroo court down there to the Congress and talk to you right now. And, you know, you want to fight about it? There was a lot of stuff that was similar to this in the first Civil War, but not anything specifically exactly like this that I can recall. I do remember that there was quite a fight on the floor of the Senate, I believe. And, you know, one of the senators from the South beat the crud out of three Republicans that were trying to throttle his speech, I think. And as he whooped him pretty good till finally a crew of men subdued him, got his stick away from him, and dragged him off of the, you know, out of the Capitol building, kicking and screaming. And he was yelling, hang them all, hang all those dang Yankees, hang them all, not one deserves to live. Little history lesson for you. So, this is similar to what kind of fireworks we may be seeing soon. Will Pompeo stand, you know, put his hands out and go, okay, take me down to the Capitol jail. I got nothing better to do, Sergeant of Arms. I mean, is his gun loaded? Is he Barney Fife, the Sergeant of Arms, really? Are they actually? I don't know. It's all kind of absurd and crazy, if you ask me. It's all just kind of, all these people are out of their ever-loving minds. I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime in the United States of America. People just got no manners anymore. But, you know, we all know what needs to happen. Nancy Pelosi needs to have the vote so the inquiry is absolutely legit, and then the Republican congressmen will be able to show their witnesses and their side of the story, and Donald Trump's counsel will be allowed to participate in this, and the cabinet members will be allowed to obtain counsel and have lawyers present, and just do it like a real courtroom instead of a kangaroo court. But that's kind of how the Civil War stuff happens, you know. I've talked about this before in previous videos, how somebody might just pop up and have a citizen's court, and we're going to snatch this person off the street, try him in a citizen court, and hang him without any governmental authority at all, just the authority of a handful of people who decide they're going to do that, you know. And that handful of people might be the Congress, who just decides we don't care what the Constitution says. We're in charge here, and it's time for Trump to go. And they just go snatching up cabinet members, and, you know, somebody comes after Trump. And then does the Secret Service protect the president like they're supposed to? They probably will. Would shootouts occur? They could. You know, you get a couple of bullheaded guys that want to have a discussion about whether or not this particular cabinet member is going to jail today or not, and they don't like the cut of each other's jibs, and the hormones and pheromones go busting up, and pretty soon, you know, room stinks like testosterone. Next thing you know, people are getting laid out on the floor. I've been to enough barroom brawls to know how that story goes. So you tell me, what do you think? You think the congressmen and women are actually going to basically declare war on the executive branch? I mean, it's kind of stupid. Trump's people got all the guns. They have the, I mean, to not obey the commander-in-chief is treason for sure. And it's a good way to end up swinging. And I'm not talking, you know, swinging. Just a sorry. Hey, you gotta laugh to keep from crying. I'm trying to be lighthearted, because the whole dang thing sounds crazy as all get out. But, you know, as for me and my house, I ain't going to the FEMA camp. I don't know about you. God save our republic.